Welcome to Or Something Like That.
The podcast where you can talk shit with your besties.
We're your hosts, Sam
and Hollis. Be sure to follow us on social and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode.
And if you love us, give us that 5-star review.
One, two, three, four.
All right.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
We're tired today, so we're just going to warn you. There's probably going to be a lot of Or Something Like That because I feel like you do it more when you're tired.
Oh, 100. 100.
Okay, but can we just get right into it because I have some things.
Yeah.
So I think I told you last time we were together, or maybe the time before, that I had something I wanted to bring up that I knew that and there's going to be other girlies out there who understand this too, but you and I are similar on this. And I was like, Hollis will totally understand. So when I was naming my children, I not only obviously wanted to select a name that I liked. And of course you do the thing where you're does it rhyme with anything weird? You're doing all the things. Is there an obvious joke that I'm missing?
Yeah. Dolores Clitoris.
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry if your name's Dolores.
It's a beautiful name. And a beautiful structure.
It's wonderful.
Structure? I don't know, or something like that.
Or something like that. But another thing I took into consideration was it had to flow off the pen nicely.
Oh.
And it had to be aesthetically pleasing to write and look at. Yep.
Yes. God, I know.
Yes.
Oh my God. I could not relate to anything more in my entire
I know, right? It's just one of those things.
That's my
Hollis is good.
Hollis is great.
Hollis is good.
I cannot tell you how many times I've written my name over and over and over again. And I find I love it the most in all lowercase cursive.
Yeah.
Can really get a nice lead into the lowercase H.
Yeah.
And then it flows off the S. I mean,
yeah.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Yeah. That's lame as fuck. I gotta take that out later.
Or something like that.
No, but I totally get that.
Yeah. My name is better in cursive than it is in print for sure, but it's not too bad. I give it a 7. It's not yours is a hard 10.
Yeah.
Mine's a 7.
How do you write
Kurtz sucks. Kurtz is hard.
K's
are hard.
Really rough.
And lowercase R's.
And you know what?
It's
a K is so hard because you can't. It's really hard to connect it and make it look.
Yeah.
Because are you doing an arch? Are you doing a swoop?
Yeah.
And then it's so hard to connect. Yeah.
It's better in cursive. In print, it's terrible.
Oh, it's too geometric.
Yeah, and the R's. There's something about R's and F's in print, lowercase.
Yeah, not great.
Not great.
How do you write your cursive S? Do you do the loop-de, or do you do a modern, it's an S but with a little
I
flare?
do a loop-de.
Yeah, the traditional.
Yeah. And then when I do my signature, though, I just do a big, small cursive S.
Ooh, I like it.
And I don't do my full name. I just go right into the B of Branson. It's just S. Branson.
See, I do H. Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never sign my full first name.
Me neither.
In my signature. No, I get that, though. I mean, that's definitely, if I have kids, that'll be a real
I had to
factor.
practice writing them before I could decide on it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, I knew you'd get that.
And there's nothing more satisfying than a cursive capital C.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, cheers to that.
Heck yeah. Okay, another thing that I've realized is I was listening to something and they were talking about going to theater shows and stuff. And I'm just not a theater girly. I'm just not. I don't know. I don't know if it's partially because it's at night and I don't like to go out at night and it's too late and they don't start till 7 or 8 o'clock and I'm falling asleep, or if it's just boring. It's a little bit of both.
Plays in general.
Yeah, I mean, plays.
You definitely don't like musicals.
Not big on musicals. I mean, I like a concert. I like a concert from time to time, but one of the most fun nights I've ever had in Bloomington was at a variety show.
Oh,
Why does nobody do that anymore?
Oh, I don't know. I have,
Bring it back.
When I was this is going to sound pretentious, but when I was in London with my friend, we went to a variety show and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a circus kind of, but a little bit more refined than that.
Yeah.
And just so much fun. Very entertaining.
So entertaining. And here's the thing, like, you need it's nice to have, it's like, keep it fresh, switch it up. Like, it was so great. I mean, the one we went to, they had like a funny like MC guy that like MC'd the whole thing. There was a comedian that did like a short, you know, whatever it's called. And there was the Hudsucker Posse was there and did their hula hooping. There was a couple of music acts. I can't remember exactly what they were. This woman came in and did aerial silks.
Oh, cool.
I was just like, this is great. It was so much fun. And yeah, I just feel like that's the way to do it. Oh, I know what it was. I was listening to a podcast with Luann from New York.
Oh, yeah.
She was talking about her cabaret show, and she was talking about how it's like a little bit of like a variety show. And I was like, yes, they need to bring that back. Yeah. That would be so much fun. I would totally go to her show.
No, definitely. And I feel like this kind of ties back to the Housewives, because I'm so over people being judgmental about entertainment. The fact that, like, you know, I feel like variety shows are like, oh, they're not highbrow, or it's like not, which is like, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm trying to escape my real life and watch something that is just entertaining.
Right.
Like, I don't need it to be like insightful or philosophical
No.
all the time. If it is, that's great.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. But sometimes, same thing with movies. Sometimes I just want to watch a shitty comedy that makes me laugh.
Right.
You know, that's not super thought-provoking, and that is the perfect case for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to go out and have a good time and be entertained.
Exactly. And I get everybody's different. You know, some people love the theater, and that's fine, but like, it's just like a little bit boring. I'm just like,
well, and that's the thing about theater is that I like to go see plays, but the thing is, it's when it's really good, it's great.
Yeah.
And when it's even mediocre,
has to be great to even be good, I feel like.
Even just mediocre, it's like,
Ugh.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard. You know, like, it really has to be really good in a lot of ways. The writing, the acting, the sets, all the things have to come together to make it, like, for me to really get lost in it.
And I'll admit, I've never been to like a true Broadway show. I've never been to New York City. I've been to upstate New York. I've never been to New York City. I've never been to a Broadway show, but I've been to lots of shows at the Auditorium. I've seen a lot of plays. I do like comedy shows. You know, that's probably an exception. I don't typically get bored at those. I didn't love Second City, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and you know, the times I've gone to
like
theater
the intermission
shows,
comes and I'm like, going to go home.
Yeah, I know. And honestly, the shows that I have found to be the most entrancing are much smaller shows.
Yeah.
Like when I lived in New Orleans, I went to a couple like really small plays, and it's maybe 30 people in a room.
Yeah.
And it's something about it, like the closeness. You just get much more broad.
Don't let it drop.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Don't let it drop.
Don't ever let it drop. Everyone's watching you, Zach.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. So good. Okay. Somebody wrote that. When I just read this, somebody wrote that screenplay, and I was like blown away by it. Fuck. I got to look it up.
For that movie?
Yeah.
Like you were blown away by the person who did
M.
it?
Night Shyamalan wrote She's All That screenplay.
What?
I swear to God. Let me fact check this really quick and make sure I'm not lying. But yeah. And I
mean, his greatest work today.
I know.
I mean, honestly.
I swear to God, I read this on the internet. Let me make sure I'm not just like
fake newsing.
Spreading fake news, yeah. Who wrote She's All That screenplay?
What?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I mean,
Well,
just when I thought you couldn't get any better.
was it like his first one?
It must have been, yeah. So R. Lee Fleming Jr. is officially credited as the sole screenwriter for the film. But in a 2002 interview, M. Night Shyamalan stated that he polished the screenplay while adapting Stuart Little and writing a spec for... Okay, so I guess he just he polished it. He was involved.
He was involved, yeah. I mean,
well,
that's enough.
Yeah, I would be claiming that too, my dude. No, but... Yeah, I feel like the smaller it is, the better. It's more intimate, and you get lost in it more. The grander and bigger it is, the more it has to really blow you away for me to like not just be like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah, like I just end up like watching the people. Yeah,
yeah. And I also love musicals because I'm a loser. But
no, see, but like I like certain musicals, the movies. what's the one with Dick Van Dyke where they do the Indiana song?
Oh, Music Man?
The Music Man.
Yeah,
I love the Music Man. I like Hello Dolly. I like, there's a handful that I like. But would I want to go see the Music Man on stage? Probably not.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's hard because there are a lot of distractions when you go to see live theater.
Yeah.
Where it can like.
Remember when we went to see and they brought in the understudy guy at the end? I wanted to look that up and see what happened, and I never did.
What was it?
The Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mormon, Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon.
So we went to see the Book of Mormon, and like you're watching the play, and this was after the intermission. It was like pretty close to the end of it, and they like stopped everything for a minute, and we were like, "What's going on?" And it seemed like the scene ended kind of like abruptly, and we were like, "Wait, what's going on here?" And then they came back out, and it was the understudy guy for one of the characters. And at first, when they came back out, we weren't really sure what happened, and everybody was kind of confused because they're calling him the name of the character. And we're like, wait, what is happening? Yeah. And then you make the realization, like, that dude just, like, dropped dead or something? Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Also, I'm just going to, like, put this out there.
It wasn't that great.
Probably going to, blast us. But, yeah, I was a little
I don't know if it was just dated. I mean, it's like 10 years old at this point.
I think that's what it was. Because I was just like, everyone for 10 years has talked about it, how it's the most hilarious thing to have ever come out. And I think, we just saw it maybe 5 years too late.
Yeah.
7 years too late for it to really be
was
funny.
all right.
It was good.
It wasn't
good. Bad. And there were a couple moments, but I did not laugh out loud.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Maybe one time.
Yeah, it wasn't as funny as I was hoping. And I really, truly love South Park. I mean, I really do. I feel like it's a show that's really only gotten better as time has gone on. And
10 years ago.
And I love basketball.
Oh, fuck yeah, baseball.
So, I mean,
damn.
Yeah.
I haven't seen baseball in
I haven't
so
either.
long. But I used to.
First I get the khakis. First I get the job, then I get the khakis, then I get the girl.
Oh yeah, I mean, I used to quote the fuck out of that movie with my cousin.
Yeah,
and it was just like, who's cooler? Who can quote the movie the most?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, it was kind of a letdown, to be honest. But
yeah,
it's
I know,
fine.
and I really was, because a lot of it was, I could tell the jokes. I was like, this would have hit 7 years ago.
Yeah,
but yeah,
It's
okay.
You know,
it was still entertaining.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was afraid to say that in front of anyone because people are so like, it's even still, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, okay.
Well, it wasn't. So
yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing that I really want to get into, and like I feel like there's going to be a lot to be said, but I just want to like delve into this a little bit. So I listened to this podcast where people call in to like get relationship advice and stuff. And I feel like I keep hearing this over and over and over again. It's like such a common theme. How would you feel about your boyfriend, like your serious boyfriend or your husband or a partner that you're with being on OnlyFans? Not as a person that does it and makes money, as a subscriber who like watches stuff on OnlyFans.
How would I feel if I was dating someone and they
you found out
routinely went on OnlyFans and
yeah
did what, like watched porn or like paid a person specifically? Because this is what I don't understand about OnlyFans is like, can you just watch porn videos,
so,
or do you have like borderline intimate relationships where
both
you pay people?
It's both. I think it's both.
Yeah, I would be pretty uncomfortable with that.
Yeah,
I feel like if I found out my partner watched porn, I wouldn't. But it's the communication with a particular person, like requesting things.
Right,
that seems almost
too intimate.
Yeah,
and here's the thing: porn is free. You can watch porn for free. If you're just watching videos, you can pretty much find what you want for free. Mm-hmm. If you're somebody who's paying to be subscribed to OnlyFans, my guess is you're not just watching things, right?
Yeah, I guess. Or you're requesting specific things.
Yeah.
From a specific person.
Right. Yeah.
But so what are you alluding to? You don't think they're just watching, but they're actually like doing what else?
That. Not just watching. Okay. They're messaging specific people, asking for specific content, and possibly having dialogue with with people.
Yeah. Who are providing them with sexual content.
Yes.
Yeah, and that, no way.
No way. Me too. No way. And here's the thing.
Especially if that's not something they brought to the table. Especially if it was like behind closed doors.
Right.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I'm not here to judge anybody who's in a relationship with somebody who they know they're on OnlyFans and they're okay with it. Everybody's entitled to like what they're comfortable with, right? But for me personally, it's a hard no. It's a hard no. And I feel like this is such like a common theme in this podcast that I listen to. But yeah, and this is going to be a little controversial. I feel like there's a particular type of guy that's on OnlyFans, that's subscribed to OnlyFans. And I think, again, this is going to be a little controversial. Unfortunately, it's probably more guys than we'd like to think it is.
Guys subscribing as opposed to women?
Yeah, no, not necessarily as opposed to women, but like my personal opinion is the type of guy that is prescribed. He's prescribed it. That's subscribed to OnlyFans is just like a particular type of guy. And like, that's not the guy for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, in the world of generalization, yeah, that makes total sense.
And I think sometimes those guys, we don't realize they're that guy. Like you might have a guy in your life, not your partner, not, but just a guy that you know that you think that guy's not on OnlyFans, but he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that particular type of guy that I say that guy's not for me, I think it's more guys than we think it is. Does that make sense?
No, it does. And that's where my ignorance to how OnlyFans works really like clouds my judgment here. Because I don't know, like, can you subscribe to OnlyFans and like just go on and like watch stuff that's uploaded? Or
I think
is the way OnlyFans work is that like you have to, like you're paying a person for something specific? Like
I think it's both.
Yeah.
And I don't know for sure. I've not been on it. My understanding is that it's both. I think you have to pay for it regardless. So, I think you have to have like a viewer account or whatever. And then I think my understanding is that you have to pay for it regardless. And there's maybe like some stuff that you can watch, but then I think you have to pay extra for like certain to get access to certain people, like celebrities and stuff. Like I don't think you're just gonna pay like $19.99 a month and be able to see Denise Richards' OnlyFans. I think you have to pay like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's definitely like an extra layer of you know what I mean? Yeah. It's the next step.
I would tell you, okay, I will say this. If the guy that I am seeing was just to one day be like, oh yeah, I'm on OnlyFans, and I just go on there and like whatever. For whatever reason, it would make me feel a little bit different than if he was just like, yeah, I go and watch porn.
Exactly, yeah.
And I can't tell you exactly why, but it would, because I feel like there is something that's more like intimate about it or specific. I don't know how to just articulate why it would make me feel weird.
Well, but
I would assume that they are communicating with a person.
Because why would you pay for something that you can get for free if you're not seeking out something very specific or like a different experience? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if maybe, I mean, honestly, if they were to be like, I just really like this thing and I can't find it anywhere but here, and like, I just do it. I mean, I can't say I would be like, no, forget it. But yeah, this is the first time ever considering this. But yeah, it would definitely kind of would make me feel a little bit
if
odd.
it was that, like, how transparent would you need them to be? Would you need to have like access to it and be able to see like what they're doing?
No, I don't think I would want to see that. Yeah. I would hopefully have enough trust in that person that what they told me was true. That if I was like, hey, just tell me what's going on so I can understand, that I would believe what they told me.
Right.
I guess I haven't really been in a relationship where like I haven't been able to just like trust what that person said.
Yeah.
Maybe given a few one.
And I guess for me too, like, I'm married. I feel like the two most important things in a relationship are trust and respect, right? You have to have mutual trust and mutual respect or you will not make it 100%. And I feel like the OnlyFans kind of pushes the boundary of both of those things, in the sense that like part of trust for me is not only being able to trust your partner, but I also have an expectation of my partner not to put themselves in high temptation situations, right? Yeah. And that goes not just for like OnlyFans, but like, you know, when you have a spouse that works outside of the home and you have relationships with coworkers, that translates to like, say you have a particular colleague that you have a connection with and you have like a good work relationship and you like to spend time with that person like at work, having that not seep into the personal. I don't think you should be texting with that person individually, like in the evenings or on the weekends. You know what I mean? Not letting that seep into your personal life, because you're kind of creating like high temptation situations. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like OnlyFans kind of falls into that for me, because even if you were on there just to like, maybe you have this one particular person even that you like to watch, because of that ability to be able to chat and request and that kind of stuff, like the risk is high. Yeah. And I feel like that's important for me in a relationship too, is like not just the trust, like yes, I trust you, but I also have an expectation that like, because people are human, right?
Right.
And like
so you're not putting yourself in risky situations.
And that like filters into respect as well, you know? And so yeah, I think so.
That's a very well articulated explanation of why it is, you know, could make someone feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
100%. And it's one thing, it'd be interesting, you know, if you start out a relationship and this person was like, I'm on OnlyFans, I've been on OnlyFans, I want to start a relationship with you. And you have to confront like, okay, this is something they've done for a while. Or if it's like you're in a relationship and then you find out.
Yeah.
Or it's a new thing and they're like, oh yeah, I just signed up for OnlyFans. Like,
yeah. I know, and I feel like
sexuality, where it's like, you know, you don't want to kink shame.
No.
But at the same time,
no.
How do you work that into feeling okay in your relationship?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, for me, it's that extra layer of like the personalization of it, you know, because absolutely everybody's entitled to their kinks and their stuff, and everybody's entitled to their own personal sexuality outside of their relationship. Like, it's healthy. And I don't think anybody should have to necessarily share that part of themselves with a partner if they don't want to. Now, some people, they like to do that kind of stuff together. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. But I think people also have a right to like keep that private and outside of their relationship if they want to, when they're just alone or whatever. And I think watching porn is part of that, but the OnlyFans, it's that extra layer. It's too much for me.
I would have to agree. For me personally, I don't know if I would feel comfortable. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that either.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'm talking about this from the perspective of like a heterosexual woman and heterosexual men. Yeah. I wonder like what the ratio of men and women that are on there,
I would
imagine
it's a lot less, the waters are a lot less tepid with, because I don't know, I just feel like heterosexual couples are much more like, the strains are tighter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sexually.
I agree. Yeah. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to.
Yeah. If you have a partner that does that, let us know.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see like what other people's thoughts and like what other people feel about.
Yeah. How does it work? Like, does it work for you? Does it not?
Yeah. And like, how much do you know? How much do you want to know? How much do you not want to know?
Yeah. And
how many of you out there suspect that they're on it and are either lying about it or just don't even want to like,
interesting. Good topic though.
But anyway, I just thought that was interesting, like how common of a theme it was and how often it was coming up. And
are these women who are talking about it, are they like catching their husbands, or their husbands coming out to them, or is it like I found out my
both? And sometimes that's not even the thing they're calling in about. They're calling in about something else. And then that comes up. Like the host of the podcast sometimes will ask. A lot of times it's like, oh, they're obsessed with their ex. So I hear a lot of people have saved videos of them with their exes
That would be a tough one too.
Yeah, that's a hard no for me. But
yeah.
Gotta
draw the line somewhere.
Right. And my thing is like, does your ex know you have this?
And in a court of law, I
feel like that's law, like there's a consent issue happening there.
Fuck yeah, there is.
I mean, I know there's technically not, I guess, but it feels like there should be.
But things are changing quickly.
Yeah.
With, content
of
the
my
sexual
God.
matter. And that you cannot mess around with it. Like,
no.
You just need to delete all that shit.
Right. Yeah. And like, who knows? Maybe the person knows and like, whatever.
But I wonder what the legalities are.
Yeah.
Like, if you were sent it at any point, like when is there like a, what's the word, the term I'm looking for? Like if you're sent a video, how long do you have after it's sent for it to be consensual for you to keep it?
Right.
And have ownership over it.
Right.
Like that, has that been determined?
No.
Is that still TBD? Like
I think so. Yeah. And just, the legal implications around that, if there is any yet. Well, and that that's where I feel like that's kind of all like coming to the forefront now, and that kind of like is related to AI and all these like deep fakes.
Oh yeah.
And like they don't know, there was that school where they were circulating and they had absolutely no recourse. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to handle it, because this group of kids were circulating these deep fakes of these girls, and I'm pretty sure they were underage. It wasn't a college, and that's wild. Like it's gonna happen soon. It's already kind of happened to where we don't have any idea what's real.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing with AI is that there's going to have to be technology that can distinguish what video is real video and when it has been AI generated.
Yeah.
Which is possible. If we can generate AI videos, then we can generate the intelligence to determine whether it's...
Is it like AI watchdogs?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is like it can be done. There just has to be somebody who's doing it.
Is On the Media going to be doing this? Or what?
I read a lot about AI because I have to for my job, because my boss is very invested in it, which, makes a lot of sense. And I do believe that AI it already has, and it's been an influence in our lives for years. People just don't really, it's just now with generative AI that it's starting to become like much more impressive and something that people are like, oh, I can see this now, as opposed to it's like the back end things that have been developed, which stuff we've been using for years.
Right.
And I'm on a marketing team, so of course that's like, it's incredibly useful. But yeah, like it is scary because it's evolving so quickly, and there is no precedent, and everything is speculation.
Yeah.
We have no idea how it's going to end up because there is no precedent for this.
No, it's Black Mirror.
But I truly do believe that if we can build the intelligence to create generative AI, then we can also build the intelligence to have something to determine between the two for cases like court hearings.
Yeah.
When deep fakes are presented as evidence for somebody, and we can run that through something and say, no, this has been created by AI.
Unfortunately, it's the court of public opinion where you can't always
exactly. And that's where it's going to be really hairy. And that's why I fear social media in the coming years. It's going to be, I feel like it's just going to be an ultimate deterioration of any truth. And any point of being on it, to be honest.
Right. And this all kind of like ties back into what we were talking about earlier too. Now with AI, and we were talking about OnlyFans, like at what point is it just going to be like virtual reality sex?
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And humanoid robots are a thing that are like really evolving. They anticipate like a lot of manual labor being done by humanoid robots, and it's like it's something we're going to witness in our lifetime, which is kind of
so crazy.
I didn't really anticipate.
It's like all the sci-fi movies that we watched when we were kids. It's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Like it's happening.
Yeah. And I don't know.
Remember when they used to say like 2057 and we'd be like, like we're going to be fucking alive then, Like,
I am curious to see because everything it's evolving so fast, and it's not, at least from my perspective, because it is on like people who work in certain industries. Yeah. It's evolving really quickly.
Yeah.
But for the average person I don't think it's evolving as quickly because it's
Right.
perspective.
Right.
And it's like, it's how comfortable are we? And when I say we, I mean like the mass public.
Right.
With accepting these things. And I think that is what is going to be the hindrance, is the technology going to be evolve faster than society's acceptance?
Yes.
Which I think is what's going to be the real problem, is that if these advances aren't slowly integrated into life, it's going to be too much for people.
Oh, for sure.
And there will be pushback.
It's already... It
already is kind of because AI
and I don't mean even
of,
just with AI. It's been that way previously with other technological advances.
Sure.
You know,
AI has a big PR problem, and they need people to be public relations and be like, hey, AI isn't coming for your jobs,
right?
It's going to change things, just
right?
Like every
major,
does, but that's when it doesn't. I mean, people have got to accept it, because it is moving too fast for people to just like slowly accept.
Yeah. And there's something inherently scarier about artificial intelligence, I think, because it has been
portrayed,
fantasized about and demonized. I think there's something inherently scarier about that than other technological advances that we've made.
Oh, yeah, because it's so out of the realm of understanding for most people.
Yeah.
Even I read about it a lot. I still don't fucking understand how a lot of it works, because I don't really understand how a computer works, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I'm just barely grasping the marketing that I do at work that I don't even really do.
Right.
I'm on the graphics team. So like I kind of do marketing stuff, but not really.
Yeah.
And now this is happening, and
I mean, it's all just algorithms, right?
Yeah, it's all binary.
It's all just a bunch of ones and zeros.
Yeah, like, okay, cool, that makes sense. Like, no one fucking gets that. And then they're just like, oh, just accept AI. Just learn how to use it. Just figure out this ChatGPT. And I was like, I don't think people who are more advanced don't understand that, like, even the most basic AI implementations are very complicated for people.
Yeah.
And it's going to take some time for people not to be like, yeah, this robot's going to outsmart me and control me pretty soon.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And because if you read about it,
that's what it makes it seem like.
The plan is like they're going to, the point is to make them thought-provoking, problem-solving.
Yes, like critical thinkers. Yeah.
So,
I don't so much worry about the robots like taking over and trying to kill us. But I worry about people becoming non-critical thinkers because of AI.
Yeah.
You look at like, and I'm not saying everybody has to go to college. I'm just using this as an example. You go to like a basic 4-year university to get a bachelor's degree, or let's say you go on grad school, PhD. You're writing papers. You have to come up with a topic, a thesis, evidence to support that. You cite other people's work, other people's thoughts. If something is doing that for us, which we pretty much can now, that exists.
Yeah.
You can have Grammarly and AI write your paper for you. And so, like, at what point do we stop thinking outside the box? Do we stop being critical thinkers? Because we don't have to be. And then what happens to the evolution of our species? Yeah. That's what worries me, you know? And at what point do we stop having interaction with other human beings?
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And my one glimmer of hope for that solution is that somebody in government or technology will step up and say that there has to be some sort of committee that forces people to say whether things are AI generated or human generated.
Right.
And if that is the case, if there is an easy way for society to consume things and tell right away what is AI and what is human generated, that the value of human generated things will
be more.
Go up.
Yeah.
And for things like art, I think people are really scared that like, oh, it's going to replace artists. No, because human generated art will then become so much more valuable and so much more appreciated.
Yeah.
And I hope that's the same thing for the written word, for idea generation.
I hope so.
Idea generation, I don't know. I feel like that's gone, because that's what I mostly use AI for now, is like, hey, how do I plan my week? Help me prioritize, and then also like help me come up with ideas. I'll write something and then I'll put it into AI and say make it sound better.
Right.
Which at the same time, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I should probably just be fine tuning my own brain.
Right.
But I guess my hope is that like if I read something that's perfectly, edited, that reading that over will imprint in my brain in some way. But it's a thing where it's like if you don't treat it as a balance, it will ruin people.
Yeah.
If it's like computers, it's a tool.
Yeah.
It is not everything.
Right.
It cannot be the only way.
Well, and I think the number one
thing, it can be a tool that you use successfully to help you.
Yeah.
And
the number one thing it can't be, like the true number one thing it absolutely 100% cannot be, is you having a genuine interaction with another human being. But I also feel like that's an area that it's going to diminish.
Yeah. Because
of the things it's going to provide, right? So it's like, I feel like that's a bit of a catch-22.
Yeah. And it's hard because that's where they want the technology to go.
Right.
They already want, every time I like listen to a course or a tutorial, they're like, talk to your AI.
Yeah.
Because you can communicate with it almost like it's a person.
Yes.
And the more advanced it is, the more capable it will be.
Right. And the more you talk to it, the smarter it gets.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of
It's kind of a lot like the movie Her.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
And I mean, that is kind of like the trajectory that I think it's supposed to be going a lot, or at least a lot of these chat bots are. So yeah, I don't know. Again, everything at this point is total speculation, though. We have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know.
It's just we're kind of... But it is like, I hate to feel like I drank the Kool-Aid, but I kind of have, where it's just like, man, the more I learn about it, the more I'm just like, this is a fucking insane time to be alive.
Yeah.
But then I leave work, and my life is not that much changed.
Yeah.
So it's like, I kind of feel like I live in this, like, bubble at work where I'm just like... Things are going AI is taking over the world, and then I walk out, I was just like,
and you walk in your apartment and you're like, oh no, everything's normal. Yeah.
So it's like, yes, is it going to change the world? Is it going to be a revolution? To some degree, yes, but is it anything to lose your fucking shit over?
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting though.
Yeah, I'm interested to see like where it's gonna go. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Time shall tell.
Time shall tell.
All right, what have we got? Grapes and gripes. I've got something. Surely, do I have something? Oh, I do have a gripe.
Okay.
My husband is one of these people, and I do not understand the kind of people who will just let an alarm keep going off.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I will remember like pretty early on when we moved in with each other, and like the timer on the stove or the oven, I would be like sitting in the living room, he'd be in the kitchen doing something, and it would start going off. And I'd be like, is he not in there? And I would go in there, and he's in there, and I would walk over and turn it off. And I would be like, what is this? Like,
no, that's insane.
That's insane behavior.
This happens to me at work. The fridge in our little like kitchen at our work, if you leave it open,
if the door's open and it'll beep. Yeah.
And my office is upstairs and the kitchen is downstairs, and there are 3 offices with people in them like 10 feet away, and that thing will go off like 7 times in a row.
And you're like,
and I'm like, what the fuck? Finally I'll go downstairs, like slam the door closed, and I'm like, I know if I hear it, you hear it.
Right. I know. I don't. And I feel like there's other examples, and I've been around other people in my life where I'm like, if there's an alarm going off, I am like scrambling to shut that motherfucker off. Like, what is happening?
No.
Yeah. I don't understand that mindset.
And I'm not a like sleep through an alarm person.
No.
Because I've experienced that where I'm just like, that doesn't wake you up?
Or it's like they are awake, but they're just not like immediately reaching to turn it off. And you're like, what kind of monster are you? Like, I don't turn it off.
That's craziness.
Anyway, that's my gripe.
Yeah, I'm piggybacking on that gripe. Oh, I have a gripe. Another office gripe. I might be in a fight. I can't determine if I'm in a fight with another person at the thermostat or if I'm in a fight with the thermostat itself.
Oh, good. I love a good thermostat fight.
Somebody sets it to 68 every day, and it's freezing. And I turn up to 72.
Now, that's my person. That's my people right there.
I feel like 72 is an average.
Have a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm just not. I haven't gone through the hormonal changes I need to. But it is so cold at 68. Yeah. And I'm like shivering in my office. And I go down and I crank it up to 72. And then later in the day.
So you don't know if it's like set
so
to that and it's doing it on its own? Or
it's one of those like eco things. So it might be set to it. And it just like automatically goes back every day to 68. I don't know. But I overheard one of the guys in my office. I was upstairs and he was yelling at the girl whose office is closest to the thermostat. He was like, "Are you the one turning up to 72?"
She's like, "No."
She's like, "No, I haven't touched it all day." And I was like, "That was me."
Oh my God. Speaking of, that was me. I think this is a grape. I was in the Goodwill.
Grape. Done.
It's definitely a grape. I'm in line and there's a person checking out these two people, a couple, and they have like a cart full of things. And there's a couple people in line in front of me. And so they call for like backup cashier. So this woman comes around and there is a dolphin statue and like a board game sitting on the counter in front of the cash register that she walked up to. And I can already see her going, no, who did this? Who did this? She's like, nope, we're not, they can be taking that back. We're not going to do that. And the couple, like she's like trying to call out whoever set that stuff down there. It was like
an employee or a person?
No, an employee.
Oh.
An employee. Because she was the cashier backup and she was coming up to use that cash register and somebody obviously like just didn't want those things and set them down there. Oh. And so the couple that's checking out at the one like next to her, the guy goes, "Oh, that's my bad." And she goes, "You can take it back then. You can take them back then." And he
did he put it there? You don't know.
Well, I think obviously he did because he said, "Oh, that was my bad." He either did it before I got in line or I just didn't see him do it. Yeah. But I honestly think the only reason he even said anything is because he was worried that the people in line behind him, that somebody saw him and that they're going to be like, "That guy," because it was kind of one of those situations where it was like, somebody's gonna admit to this, she's not gonna let this not gonna let it go. And
she was like screaming and making a big
making a big to do about it in the Goodwill. I mean, I was just like, oh my God, he took him back. He didn't want that dolphin statue. So
did he walk it back?
He took him back.
Oh hey.
And he was beat red. I mean, it was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, because every time you go to Goodwill, there's like 8,000 people in line.
Yeah. Yeah,
so that's a crowd.
She dolphin shamed that guy. I mean, he was upset. He was embarrassed.
Yeah, especially if that's the thing you have to walk back, a dolphin statue.
Yeah, it was like two dolphins like cresting a wave. You know what I mean? It was like the wave and the.
It's like, this reminds me of my lower back tattoo. I almost wanted to buy it, but my wife told me I couldn't.
Yeah. Anyway,
that was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
That's good. Man, shit pops off at the Goodwill.
It does. It really does.
And there's really great people watching there.
It's always busy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like checking out is like an amusement park.
Yeah.
Like that thing winds back and forth. There's like 4,000 people. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just funny because like, I don't know why I shouldn't just like pick them up and put them on the shelf, but they have these shelves behind them.
Full of shit. Yeah. She's like, hell no. Not today.
She was not having it.
Not in my lane. That's disrespectful. That's so funny.
Anyway. All right. I think that's all we got. Thanks for listening.
Bye.